Alrighty, Farem. Time to start reviewing products like an adult, and what better way to act like an adult than reviewing products geared towards children. And this here is the Razer Kishi, basically a Sega Game Gear, and we're gonna take a look at it today. How you doing? How you be? Top to the AB, and I have a very special review for you guys. This is the Razer Kishi. So we're gonna go ahead and take a look at this, but be sure to go ahead and like that like button and let the algorithm know that I exist. Let's get to it. The controller, Genshin Impact doesn't support controller support, so I can't actually use Genshin Impact, which is one of the main games I play, which is what I wanted to try it on mobile. But it doesn't actually support controllers, and I've already tried. It doesn't work, unfortunately. However, I do have a game here that we can test. Now, with this game here, this is Call of Duty Mobile. One of the things for the main screen here, you can't actually use the controller for it, but it does detect that you have a controller connected. So what we'll do here is we'll go ahead and just get into any match. It doesn't really matter here. Now, one of the things that when it comes to playing with these type of controller, I don't usually do this often as far as the controller, but I've played this map before, for sure. so we'll see how this goes, and then we'll switch it over to the Android version and try it out as well. All right. I turned on auto running. Okay. So first thing I notice is the making sure that you guys can see that. Okay, cool. Oh, shit. Shoot. All right, so first thing I notice here is that the triggers aren't exactly where I want them to be. It takes a little while for me to actually hit the right trigger. See, like if you see there, we're gonna flip them on this. All right, here. So that's looking good. Ugh. Trying to figure out where to do the predator, where to put to the predator missile, but what are you doing? Oh, okay, that was somebody else. All right, so it feels good. Every button feels good except for the right trigger. It takes a little bit too long before it realizes something is up. I know I saw somebody. I don't want to turn my back to that door. Why was he over there? I shouldn't have. So this is good. I like the way this feels. This feels just like an Xbox controller for the most part. The buttons in the moving, that is where it excels at. Where it falters is the right trigger. It's almost like it needs a little bit more. Blur. That's sad. Okay, apparently my controller is better than their controller, for sure. Okay, so yeah. All right, so it looks like you may be able to make some changes with that in the actual games themselves, but the right trigger detection is a little strong. It takes a little bit of getting used to actually be able to hit that button consistently without making you kind of lean it up towards so it can get to your hand. But this is more comfortable than the Nintendo Switch for me. So the Nintendo Switch, the buttons are a little bit kind of cumbersome to use, whereas this one feels actually pretty good, as you can see there just from my gameplay. So we're gonna go ahead and swap over to the Android and see if it feels any better. All right. So this is Altered Beast. It's just like an old Sega Genesis game. What we've learned is this doesn't work with Call of Duty Mobile. It also doesn't work with PUBG. It doesn't work with most, the top FPS shooter games for the Android. Basically, what you have to do is you have to download a Razer Kishi app here, which I will show you. This guy. So if you download a Razer Kishi app here, and what it does is it shows you what games that are available for download. So if you look here, you see how Call of Duty Mobile is showing as untested. Call of Duty Mobile, it only supports Bluetooth controllers. It won't actually allow you to hook this up and it actually detect it. Unlike with the iPhone, as soon as I hooked the controller up, it knew it was a controller. However, you have to go through the Razer Kishi and then do searches for whatever item, whatever you're looking for, in order to figure out whether or not it supports it. So basically, it shows you all the games that it has available. So I'm just kind of go through this so you can kind of get a good idea. It has a decent amount of games here, but it's not none of the bigger FPS titles. It's just, you know, some games here and there that you can actually try. So this makes the Android version a far more inferior product to the iPhone version. Oh, Final Fantasy. Now to be fair, it is $20 cheaper, but I'm not even sure even if that, because it's coming in at $80. I'm not sure even with that if that really warrants the actual price tag, and I'll explain that a little bit more in my final thoughts here. But let's go ahead and spin up that game here so you can at least see it in action. Okay. X is pause. Okay, cool. There's nothing I can do about that. Okay, there we go. All right, so just right off the bat, the controller, it feels the same as the iPhone one, so there's nothing to really talk about there. It does work. It's just that it's just so limited by the Razer Kishi app that you really can't use it the way most people would want to. A Bluetooth controller would just destroy this, because then you'll be able to use it the exact way that you want to use it, plus you get DeX back. So I'll add this to my final thoughts here, and that's pretty much it. Alrighty, so now I actually have the iPhone plugged into the dongle here going into my computer, and now you can see here just showing some recipe or whatever, and basically it is actually going by way of the cam link into my computer, and I can actually use this for streaming or anything else that I want to do, which is really, really cool. Now we're going to unhook this and plug it into the Razer Kishi to see what we get. Sorry, grab the Android one. Alrighty, Razer Kishi, here we go. Alrighty, and we're gonna plug it into that port here. Alrighty, it's charging. It is showing the symbol that it is charging. However, I do not have a screen. That hurts my soul. Granted, they did not say that it would work, but that hurts. So it appears that for the iPhone version, the Lightning port here only passes power. It does not pass data whatsoever. Alrighty. Okay, cool. I'm just a little bummed. I'm sorry. Moving on to the Android. Alrighty, and we're back. So now we are using the Android, the Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Plus. So just hooking up USB-C using the Camlink 4K doesn't work at all. However, Samsung has DeX, and so I made sure that I had the most up-to-date version because I haven't used a Samsung in a while. And DeX, it looks to be working. On top of that, DeX is actually showing, oh, I'm sorry, if I click on the right thing, would be good. Genshin Impact. So it's able to pull up Genshin Impact just fine with no problems whatsoever here. It's a little less resolution, but that's to be expected. I mean, it's nothing bad here. It is actually pulling up, which is all I really care about. That way we can continue testing. So we know that this works with DeX. And the Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Plus, very akin to how the iPhone worked with the Camlink 4K. So now we're just going to unhook this, and we're going to hook it into the Razer Kishi here. Come on, you can do it. Alrighty. There we go. Alright, and I always feel like I'm putting this in wrong. But I'm not. Okay, so whatever. It's like, I know why. It's because of the, there's no handles like on an Xbox controller, so you don't know the actual direction, so it feels a little weird. But in any event, let's go ahead and plug this in now and see if it detects anything. All right, so it knows that it's being charged. What about DeX? Usually DeX would just pop up. Please don't go 2 for 2. Please don't go 2 for 2. Nope, does not detect it. Oh, that is. Oh. 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 That hurts. That hurts my insides. See, now it knows it's a note. Before, it had no idea. And so now it's able to start DeX, and now it's able to start everything, the desktop and everything. So yeah, that's what it is. Okay, cool. So to reiterate, so the Samsung Note 10 Plus with a USB-C cable going into your computer using DeX works perfectly fine. You can play Genshin Impact all day long. However, when you use the USB-C Android version of the Razer Kishi, it does not work. Okay, so if you're used to using DeX on your phone and you have the controller is straight charging only. So it does take the juice from the USB port. However, it will not pass data. Period. At all. Okay? Now, iPhone is the exact same way. So with the iPhone, if you plug this in to using the Camlink 4K, at 1920 by 1080, this will be picked up. However, as soon as you put it into its version, the lightning to lightning adapter, it does not work. So it really 100% means it that the Razer Kishi cannot do anything but charge. It does not pass data. Hopefully in an iteration of this product, it will actually pass data. However, that is a kind of a hard thing to ask because the iPhone does a lot with that port. Samsung does too, but the iPhone is kind of a stickler because you kind of have to have the iPhone dongle. So hopefully in the future with future iterations of the Razer Kishi, you would have that availability, but just be noted. Now, to be fair to Razer, they 100% said that the port on the bottom of the Kishi is only for charging. They 100% said that. So I'm not knocking the product. It does not deserve to be knocked, but it is a little unfortunate because if you, with that you may be even able to stream while you're gaming using your computer, which would have been really cool. Alright, back to the video. Alrighty, so final thoughts here with the Razer Kishi. I was going to say that this is basically a new version of the Sega Game Gear and date myself. However, the Sega Game Gear was more bulky because it had the 6 AA batteries. This feels more like a Nintendo Switch Lite. So if we look here, the Nintendo Switch, they're relatively the same. And this is the iPhone version because the Android version, I'm not even sure if I want to actually discuss that guy. But it's just like the Nintendo Switch Lite with the same drawbacks too. There is no hooking this guy up to a bigger screen. It's just charge and charge only, exactly like the Nintendo Switch Lite. I don't care what you do. You're not getting it on a screen. As far as using the actual cable. Now, because it is a phone, you can use Reflector, the application, in order to reflect the screen onto a bigger screen. Your mileage may vary with that. That is a totally different software and not actually fair to the actual Kishi itself. So, just the product itself using the actual lightning cable that goes into it is just straight charging. There is no data transfer. So please bear that in mind. Outside of that, it's a pretty good controller. As you can see, I was able to play Call of Duty just fine. Had a really good KD rate. The right trigger does take a little bit of getting used to. However, there are certain games that gives you a little bit more sensitivity to it. It may just be that you may have to make some changes on the game that you're playing. So your mileage may vary with that. But the iPhone had no problems picking it it up. So for the iPhone, I can recommend it. It is at a high price tag though, coming in at $100 compared to any controller, even Xbox controllers or anything like that that you want to pair to the iPhone. They usually come in a little bit cheaper. However, it is portable. You can carry it with you. I would recommend it. I wish the price was about maybe $20 cheaper, but it does work. So I'll give it to them. It works. It works very, very well, minus the data transfer. I wish they had it, but oh well. One thing I do want to make one quick concession. It appears that on the Android version, the controller also works with emulators. So if you're very, very big with emulators, you can that would be a reason to actually buy that particular product. But if you're looking for gaming like PUBG or Call of Duty Mobile, then no, I don't recommend it. But if you're using for emulators though, you may actually find value in it. It may be worth a look at. On to the Android one. So with the Android one, here's the problem. One, you lose DeX. Okay, so you can't use DeX because it doesn't pass data. So if you have plans on using DeX, you have to unhook it. Two, you can't actually use any of the normal games that you would actually play, like some of the higher end games like Call of Duty Mobile and PUBG. They do not work. You have to use Razer Kishi in order to figure out games that are actually compatible with it. And then once you actually choose those games, they're really not up to the same quality and snuff as the games that you can get on iPhone without even worrying about it. You plug in the iPhone, it knows that you have it plugged in and everything is hunky-dory. With the Android, that is not the case. So, and on top of that, it's only $20 less than the iPhone version, so I don't recommend that guy, unfortunately. Hopefully with better iterations, it would get much better. But the way as it goes now, it just doesn't work as well as I had hoped. A lot of this has to do with the fact that the Android market is a little bit more unregulated. So with Call of Duty Mobile is expecting a Bluetooth controller, whereas other games and different type of games are expecting different types of controllers, and there's no regulation onto how it's set up. So a controller like this that plugs in via USB-C is not working because it's expecting a Bluetooth controller. So there may be some other games that are like that, so your mileage may vary. Because of that, and because it's unregulated, I cannot recommend it for the Android. iPhone though, sure, you can go for the iPhone one. Plus it's kind of portable, so it kind of, you know, if you like the feel of the Nintendo Switch Lite, granted Nintendo Switch Lite convex buttons versus concave on the Razer Kishi, but I like the buttons here better. If you have bigger hands, then this is way better than a Nintendo Switch Lite buttons, because Nintendo Switch Lite buttons, they're just too small. It's not meant for bigger hands, period. I don't care what anybody says. Nintendo Switch Lite, Nintendo Switch, they're not meant for bigger hands. It's just a little bit harder to play any game with those, but the buttons feel better than this guy. But of course, it's a $200 product, so that's not very fair to the Kishi. I'm just giving you some ideas on how you would justify the price, so to speak. So all in all there, that's pretty much it for this guy. I will be getting in the headphones so I can actually test them, and that will be the next video coming up. And let me know what you guys think. It's been a while since I made a tech review video. I kind of want to get back to my roots, and hopefully this video helped people. If you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button. If you really like it, I'm going to subscribe. I love you either way. Take care, all the best, and bye.